Yeah, what up, man?
What's up, buddy?
Can you hear
I,
me?
yeah, I can actually hear you.
Okay. Sorry, this mic ain't even work. It's just to look good. I couldn't get it to work.
Hey,
But
sometimes it's about looking good.
the first question I have for you, from the research I've done, you've opened up people like Blake Shelton, Jason Aldean, Lee Bryce, Justin Moore, Love and Theft, and the Eli Young Band. Uh, which one was your favorite to open up for?
That's a good question. Love and Theft were cool. I really like Eric and Steven. They're cool people.
Okay. Uh, for people who may not know your story, who is Nick Hickman and how did you get started in music?
And that's a loaded question. Who is Nick Hickman and how did I get started in music?
Yep.
Uh, I got started in music uh, leading worship in Knoxville. It kind of just fell into it from there at a little church on campus uh, at the University of Tennessee. Uh, Man, who is Nick Hickman? I'll tell you who Nick Hickman is right now, but and that's changed so much, over the years. Who I am right now is exactly me. I do what I want. I do how I want, when I want. I make the music I want. Um, I do things my way. I think a lot of
Uh,
people. I think a lot of people would look at my social media and my posting habits and the music I make and kind of understand who I am and where I come from. If I don't want to
yeah.
post, I know that they say that you gotta post 20 videos a day and do the panoramic stuff. That ain't me. It's uncomfortable. I'm not doing it. Refuse. If that hinders me from making it, then it's cool because at some point it becomes this is disingenuine because this is not
Yeah.
something I do. I'm not a look at me, let me show you me kind of guy. So I just do things my way, man. And some of my music sounds real country. Some of it sounds 80s pop. I like to rap sometimes. So I do what I want when I want. I don't have people telling me how I need to do it. And that's who I am. I'm trying I don't care if I'm different. I don't care if
Yeah.
people think, well, you're just trying to be different. This ain't about being different. This is about doing what I want my way. Cause that's true music. That's true artistry. You know,
Yeah.
doing it my way. So that's who Nick Hickman is right now.
Yeah, you need to be you and not like try to be somebody else, like try to be another Morgan Wallen or somebody like that. You need to like stay true to your roots and be you.
Yeah, he already exists, man. They don't need us.
Yeah. When did you realize music was something you wanted to seriously pursue?
I'd say probably college. I mean, I've always
Who?
loved it. I did choir and stuff in high school, but I think in that college period is when you're supposed to be figuring out, what's the rest of my life look like? How do I make a living and also be happy? And I think right about that time is about the time I realized this is about the only thing I could be good at that I'd be happy doing, kind of thing. So
So you do music full time?
yeah.
Who were
Well,
some of your
well, I have been for the last 8 years, but the last 6 months is kind of been the hardest time of my life. So we'll just
so
keep saying it.
do we got an album coming or
Yeah, we got two. So man, so I've been dealing with we made a record last year. I make a record every year. We made it and we were happy with it. We thought it was good. And then, growth I think is the most important thing, not just in music, just in life. Growth. So I think we've grown as producers, and I've been dealing with some stuff over the last 6 months that's kind of set me back and make me put a pause on music to an extent.
yeah.
So as I'm healing from this diagnosis I had and getting back on my feet, we started re-listening to this record. We'd already done it, 14 songs. We started listening to it and we were dissecting it and thinking, man, this ain't our best. Let's redo this. So we're redoing that one, but the problem is we'd already written another record, so we're kind of in the middle of doing two records right now. One is just a redo, and another one is the new record for next year or whenever we put it out. I don't put timelines. When we get it done and it's right, it'll come out. But we did the first two songs. So Hands to Myself and About You were on this 14 song record. So we're redoing 12 of them. I would have redone About You. I don't think it was my best, but it was already submitted. And once you submit to like playlists and stuff, you can't resubmit the same melody and lyric. So I was just like, forget it.
Yeah.
So we put it out, but the other 12 are in the process of getting redone right now.
Who were some of your biggest influences growing up?
Huh. God, it's tough. I would say Justin Timberlake. I would say any kind of 80s pop. I would say George Strait, Travis Tritt, Brooks and Dunn. Um, really love John Michael Montgomery. Really love Clay Walker. Just, I'm all over the board, you know.
Yeah. What was the first song you ever wrote or performed, and what did the moment mean to you?
God, I don't even remember. The first song I ever wrote, I think, was Here We Are. It was a Christian song. It was fun to play. Like, it's a different kind of setting in the worship field. It's not really about the experience of I wrote this song. It's more about the connection. Like, are people worshiping? Is this an opportunity for people to sing along and give God glory? Like, so
Yeah.
I don't know that I actually remember taking in that moment. I was more so just trying to lead worship as opposed to I hope they love this song I wrote kind of thing. You know, I guess that's a good
Yeah.
question. I never been asked that.
How would you describe your sound and what makes your music unique?
Man, I don't know. We're different. I don't sound like nobody else, and I think that's a testament of. See, here's the thing. You're seeing it. I own a studio in Nashville that I've been building so I could do it my way. You know, most
Yeah.
people will hire a producer to come in and say, do this, sing like this, play this. We don't. We do it all ourselves. So, you know, it kind of get all that to say it kind of gives you a distinct sound, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm different.
So, are you full independent or are you signed to a label?
I'm independent. Yeah.
What's your song process like? Do you usually start with a story, a lyric, or a melody?
Uh, that varies, man. It could be any of the three. Sometimes a melody will come to my head, and I'll memo it, and then sometimes. So how we do our writing is Jeff and I. Jeff's my guitar player. He's my best friend. So twice a year, which we're about to go in 2 weeks, twice a year for a week, we go to Gatlinburg, which I'm from East Tennessee, so it's kind of like my home. So we go to Gatlinburg and lock ourselves away and just free our minds and get rid of no and just drink and smoke and have a good time and just focus on writing music. So twice a year, that's where we go to write. So sometimes we're just dinking around out on the balcony, overlooking the creek, and a melody comes to us, or Jeff will have a cool riff and I'll put a melody over it. Um, so it kind of varies. Now, our lyric process is a little bit different. I don't know that I've ever sit down and wrote a song that was never tweaked. So after we go to Gatlinburg and write the material, we're more concerned with the melody and the structure and the bones
Yeah.
and the idea. And then I spend time to really try. I'm not the greatest writer, but I try to make sure that all of the songs are written to where I think they're cool, or well said, or does it make sense? Like, is this a story? I always ask the question why. So I like to rewrite lyrics before we record them. So it's kind of I know that's weird. It's kind of a long process for us, but it works. We get the bones, the structure. I come home and rewrite and perfect the lyrics. Then we'll record it.
Yeah. I thought I was looking at your stuff on Instagram, and I seen About You pop up, and I thought it was funny how you filmed it in the Shoney's parking lot.
We got more. I did it in the Waffle House, Cracker Barrel, Shoney's. Uh, we did a bunch, just places that I like. Me and Jeff, every time we go to Gatlinburg, we always eat lunch at Shoney's because they get that lentil soup, like your grandma used to
Yeah.
make. So I just go and get bowls of that and just chow down. So we're like, we got to do it at Shoney's. Cracker Barrel is one of our favorites. As a
Uh,
musician, Waffle House is open late
yeah.
night after show. So, just try to do stuff that we like specific to us.
What's one song you've released that has a specific meaning to you?
I've been praying.
I've been praying.
That may
So
change next year. I wrote that for my grandmother, but I got a song I wrote for my grandfather called "Cowboys Don't." That'll come out on the next record, and it's pretty meaningful too.
is there a song you've written that has a story behind it that fans might not know?
Probably. I don't know if you know this about me. I'm pretty private. I don't talk about my life or
Yeah.
problems. This is about the first time I've opened up, other than a couple of podcasts I've done in the past. But I try to keep it pretty private.
Yeah, I thought I wasn't really expecting you to answer when I hit you up. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna hit this dude up, see. But my grandma always says, hit them up. The worst they can say is no.
Yeah, you're no worse off, bro. Here's the thing. I ain't nobody special. I don't care if
Yeah,
I was selling out arenas. I'm still nobody special. I'm a dude that God decided to give a little bit of talent. Why would I boast about that?
yeah,
I didn't do it. I didn't, every my wife wishes she could sing every day. She can't. She wishes. So why would I not take the blessing that I can do this and be thankful for it? I don't need to be
yeah.
cocky or arrogant.
And I appreciate you for coming up here and taking the time out of your day to do this.
I appreciate you
Uh,
having me, man. It's nice to be able to talk about this. Nice to be able to open up and let people behind the scenes, because I ain't gonna do it on my own. Like it's just uncomfortable for me to make
yeah,
all these posts that encompass like open up, let people know more about you, be more vulnerable. Why? That's not who I am. That's
yeah,
not what I'm
bro.
called to be.
It's crazy. I'm only 18, bro, and I've been in this thing a year and a half, and I've had some of the biggest interviews I could even think of.
Yeah, and
Uh,
they're only gonna get bigger, bud. You're only gonna
yeah,
grow. So stick with it. Before you know it, you'll be the next Theo Vaughn podcast.
yeah. I've done one in-person interview. I hope to do more,
Oh, really?
but I really ain't got a way to travel right now.
Okay. Well, you're only in Clarksville, so a lot of people could come to you. I mean,
Yeah.
most of these artists are gonna be Nashville based, probably. So,
Do you know? You listen to any country rap?
no, not really.
I mean, that's what I started off doing is interviewing country rappers.
I mean, I know who. What's that Ryan guy's name?
Up church?
Yeah, I think I've met him at Cotton Eye Joe's before in Knoxville, but
You
those.
probably have. I went out to a car show that he was at a couple about a month or two ago. I went out there. There was a bunch of artists going out there, and I'm like, bro, that's gonna be the best time for me to market it myself.
Oh yeah,
I went out there. I hit the artist up before I left. I was like, bro, you want to do an in person interview? I said, I know I've been asking you for a while. He said, yeah, let's do it. So I got one locked in and was supposed to have a couple more, but none of them fell through. But I'm proud of what I got.
yeah. You're asking good questions, man. You've already asked two questions I've never been asked before, so keep pushing those limits in that box, man.
What has been the biggest highlight of your music career so far?
The biggest high.
Yeah.
Uh, I would say what I've built. I think that sometimes I take for granted that as an independent artist, I've built a studio. I got a bus and a trailer. I got a complete self-contained rig. I think those are blessings that I don't always focus on because all we think about is, oh, I'm not getting the streams I want. I'm not getting the views I want. I'm not, ticket sales aren't as high as I'd like them to be. I think we get so caught up in that we forget, man, you know,
Yeah,
blessings occur. So I would say, I'm sure you were looking for me to say playing this show or winning this or doing this. I don't know that I could say that truthfully. I think I'd have to say the hard work that's been put in to get here, you know.
bruh, you're giving me some good clips right now, bruh. I can clip this stuff later and drop it.
Cool. Hey, I'm here to help.
Yeah. What's something you've accomplished that you're really proud of?
Man, I'd probably answer exactly what I just answered for the previous question. This.
Okay.
I mean, I used to have a little bedroom set up, and I had a little two-bedroom townhome when I first moved to town. And I had a little setup in the second bedroom, just a little desk and a mic and a couple of pre's, and because I'm old school, I like analog. I don't like digital. So I was like, man, one day, this was probably 8 or 9 years ago. I was like, one day I'm gonna build my own studio, and I'm gonna do it right, and it's gonna rival anything in Nashville. So when you have a dream like that, and you're like, I'm gonna do this, that's kind of cool. And then to get out
Yeah.
of the van, we were in a van, man, for years. So to finally be able to get into a little bus and have some bunks and be comfortable, that was that was an accomplishment. Because this stuff ain't free, you know, and I have to go out. We have to go out and work and play and play and play and grind. So that's an accomplishment, honestly.
Well, do you take songs from other people that's written stuff?
I used to, no, not anymore.
Oh.
I cut a few songs back in the day, but I'm through with that. I stopped that about 5 records ago. Six, no, 6 records ago. The Oakdale record, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 records ago. Because here's the thing, man. All right, if I am gonna come out with this idea, which we have a plan of how we're moving forward. I know who I am and what I want to do. So if that's what the case, and I want to be genuine and do this myself and say I do this myself,
Yeah.
I'm only hindering myself by cutting other people's music. Not to say that it's not good. Mine songs could be worse than the songs that I want to cut. But at the end of the day, it needs to be me. This needs to be me if I'm gonna say I'm doing it all myself. So, I stopped that about 6 years ago.
What 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 are some of your dream collaborations?
Hmm. I'd like to do a song with Luke Combs. I think that would be pretty incredible. I'd like to do Brooks and Dunn since they're still at it. Um, and I'd like to feature. I'd like to do a rap feature on somebody's song.
Really?
Yeah.
You got any rap songs out?
Yes, but I'm not going to tell you where they're at. I'll tell you personally where they're at.
Yeah. But
Now it's actual rap though. It's not like hip hop. It's
I know I seen you rapping on a reel the other day on your Instagram. I was like, bro, this dude raps too.
yeah. Well, that was one of my songs. I rap and I try to do 2 or 3 raps on each record, just throwing in little verses here and there, um, just to kind of be diverse. Spice it up.
Well, how did you end up opening for Jason Aldean and people like that? Did you reach out or did they reach out?
It was mostly us reaching out. Or so here's the thing, man. Growing up in Knoxville, the cool thing about being in Knoxville is Cotton Eye Joe's used to bring in concerts every Friday and Saturday, every Friday.
Yeah.
So the opportunity as a local artist living there to open for some of these bands that were coming in, like Eli Young and Love and Theft, was a lot easier to do, um, because of that. Because a lot of times when people are going to Cotton Eye Joe's, it's not a part of their tour per se. It's
Yeah.
more so just Cotton Eye Joe's booked them. It's a one off. They don't really have support, so that was huge. Back then. I don't think they do it as much anymore, but man, for years it was just every week they were bringing in somebody new, Cole Swindell, and it was so it was a cool opportunity, man, back in the day.
Yeah. How do you stay true to yourself while making music in today's industry?
Oh, that's the easiest question to answer because I do it my way. I don't I don't follow a formula. I don't sit down and say, okay, this is what's popular. We got to make this sound like this, or this is how you have
Yeah.
to structure this song because this is what radio wants. This is the formula. Uh-uh. Nope. Whatever we feel, we write, and that makes it true because it's what we felt.
What's one life lesson that has helped you shape you as an artist?
God, can I don't know if I can narrow that down because there's been a thousand. From where I started to where I am now, I have learned a million lessons. These last 6 months, I haven't even talked about that. These last 6 to 8 months has been a lesson in itself. But let me see. You know what? I'll tell you what I think the biggest lesson I've learned is how to operate as a business while also maintaining the fact that I'm a relationship person. Because one thing I've learned, especially in the last 6 to 8 months, is this is a business. And if you're not serving the business and you're not making money,
Yeah.
you're no good to people anymore. And that was hard for me because I'm a relationship person. But as a relationship person, I still understand the business side of it. So I understand if it's not up to par, letting somebody go. But when you get caught up in this relationship status, and then people don't reach out, like, how are you? How are things going? You know, it, it, I don't know. I would say separating business, um,
Yeah.
relationships, and friendships has been probably the biggest lesson.
I got a few more questions for you.
And I got a
If
few
you,
more answers. And I got another answer to your other question too, because you've asked that twice about the opening thing.
yeah,
So I want to give you my insight to that.
yeah,
That is not that big of a deal, and I'm gonna tell you why. People think that opening for these big artists is the coolest thing in the world. It's not, and I'm gonna tell you why. One, you're not making any money. You're probably doing it for free. Two, you're
yeah,
when the doors open. People are coming in. They're not there to see you. No, it's not fully packed. They're not listening to you. The DBs on the sound are substantially lower. You're not marketing yourself. Unless you're direct support on a big tour, opening for big artists doesn't matter. It's just a cool thing that you can post on
yeah,
social media saying, look what I'm doing. It's not that cool. You're not getting paid a lot. You're not playing for a lot of people. You're right when the doors open. It's there's no
yeah,
glamour to it, man. It's not furthering your career. You don't leave that. I've never opened for somebody and left and said, "Man, I just gained 1,000 followers." And maybe I suck, and that's why I didn't get it. But at the same time, I'll never forget. We played Country Thunder up in Wisconsin several years back, and we were right before like Brett Young, and then somebody else, and then Luke Bryan, and we played for a couple hundred people, and we were so excited. I think we had like the 1 o'clock slot, so it was early, but we were
yeah,
excited, man. That was the first festival I'd done. It was years ago, but I was like, this is gonna be so cool. A couple hundred people. As soon as we're done, there's a 15-20 minute changeover before Brett. By the time Brett started, there was a couple thousand people there. By the time Luke Bryan went on, all the people. So you see what I'm saying? Yeah, it looked cool that I was on the bill and that I was playing Country Thunder and that I was on this stage. But you know, how cool was it? So
yeah. I understand that a whole lot more now.
I
Uh,
think the most important thing is what we're doing now. Going out and selling a couple hundred tickets on my own. You know, if I can do
Yeah.
that, I don't need to sell at arenas, man. I don't need awards. I just want people that want to listen to my music, and I want to make a good enough living to provide for my family
Yeah.
while doing it my way. So to me, I find, and I'm not hating on anybody else. I'm just saying, for me, I find value in being able to go out and sell tickets and people that want to come see me, even if it's 50 people, even if it's 200 people. They're still paying their money to come see me and come experience what I've crafted and put together. So I find more value in that than I do.
What advice would you give to someone chasing their dream?
Don't stop. Don't stop. I think the biggest thing that kills artists in this town, I've seen it. I've been in Nashville for 10 years now. 10. And I've seen some of the most talented people stop because it didn't happen quickly. So I would say if you've got talent, you've got a drive, and you've got a fire to make it happen, don't stop. Just keep going, man. Find a way. If you're not making enough money, get a side hustle. Whatever you have to do to keep the music going, don't
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah. When people, what do you, when people hear the name Nick Hickman, what do you hope they remember?
Honestly, I think I'd set the music aside for that question, and I would say I hope that they see that I'm just a genuine person that loves and actually cares about every person I meet.
Yeah.
Because music aside, if people don't think that about me, then I've missed the mark. Then I'm not a reflection of Christ, you know, because I'm somebody that follows Jesus. So if I'm not a reflection of that, I've failed, and that is more important than anything I'll ever do in music.
Yeah.
So if people can't see a genuine care and love, I've failed. And I hope they see that even despite whatever the circumstances may be, you know. So
Well, this is the last question I got for you. What is the most memorable thing that a fan has ever did for you at a concert?
that's easy. Some they've become close friends now, but we play in Pittsburgh. We got a pretty good market there. But after my grandmother died, I build Legos. So after my grandmother died, she brought me these custom made Legos with like pictures of me and my grandmother, and like I've been praying and songs on them. So that was that was cool. Well, now here's the thing. It's not a fan, but I used to play with this guy named Ryan. He played
Yeah.
bass with us for a little while. He's out with Ella Langley now, but his parents painted this portrait of my grandparents that I still have framed and kept up in the. So the studio's got several rooms, but I keep it in the drum room. So that was pretty actual special. It's like hand penciled of this picture, this photo of my grandparents. So
Yeah.
that was cool. So he's not a fan; he's a friend, and we were actually playing together. But that was still one of the coolest things I've received while doing music. You know, with the Legos.
Yeah.
So one of those two probably.
Well, I just want to say, man, thanks for coming up here and doing the interview with me, taking your time out of the day. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I actually had the date set for a different date on here, and I was like, "Oh, I was supposed to do that interview today, bro." I have
What
so
date did
many
you have?
interviews. I had next Saturday.
Oh, thank God, because we were out of town, but I was trying to figure out a time. Man, I have so this is the first time I've actually opened up about this, but I'm doing so many things now with what had happened. I
Yeah,
some things happened months ago, and I got diagnosed with MTD. So I've been having to do vocal therapy, speech therapy, vocal lessons. So trying to find time in my day when I'm not playing, when we're not recording, while also I'm not doing the million things. Because not only that, when I come home, I have to do Wim Hof breathing, I have to do a nebulizer, so many things to get
yeah,
back to where I was, which I'm back now. Now it's mostly just nerves. Like when you have a traumatic experience like that, like let's say you were in a car wreck, right? On the interstate.
Yeah.
You're probably going to be pretty timid to drive on the interstate for a while. So it's not
Yeah.
like I tore my ACL in high school. I didn't just immediately come back. Like, oh, there was still a fear of planning on that leg or shifting or doing something like, oh my God, am I going to tear it again? It's the same thing with singing. Like, so it's just, I'm working through mental things now, and it's all just reps, just doing it over and over and over and getting on as many stages as I can to work it out. But all that to say, I was trying to find time. Like, you were like, hey, here's a million dates. And I'm like, okay, this guy's pretty open. Crap, where am I going to find time? So I want you to know that I wasn't pushing this off. I was just trying to piece together, all right, I got to do 75,000 things a week in order to get back,
Yeah.
so
I understand, bro. You're all good.
I appreciate
I
it.
just got so many interviews coming in right now, like, bro. Sometimes I get mixed up, and I'm like, I
I
got
get you.
three today.
Are you a hands-on guy?
Yeah,
I get you a little planner, a day-by-day planner. That's what I do. I'm old school, so I've got a little planner that'll say like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'll put 9 a.m. this, 10 a.m. this. Like my wife is all about her phone. Like she'll set reminders and they ding. I'm not digital. That's why I don't post on social media. I'll get on and
yeah,
scroll while I'm using the bathroom. And other than that, I'm just not on. But I handwrite everything, and then I open that up and I look every day. Okay, 10 o'clock I got this. 11 o'clock I got this.
yeah. I know I got three today, and usually, bro, I don't usually do three interviews in one day.
Well, you keep them
But
pretty straightforward. We've only been on here for 35 minutes, so most podcasts are like an hour or so. So
well, I used to run them an hour, but then I don't like it when it pauses and we're just sitting here looking at each other.
yeah,
And I'm
uh,
like, I don't have, as a podcaster, I don't have enough questions to last an hour unless
I,
I'm asking the same question over and over.
well, let me give you a couple new questions to ask people as an artist that I think are
Yeah.
cool. Um,
Hold on.
one, a good question to ask would be, what's your vision? Where do you see this going? What is your goal? Like, because that's a good question for an artist. Think about some artists might not even think about, all right, where actually do I see this going? Because what's the answer everybody's going to give you? I want to sell out arenas. I want to win awards, and I want to make lots of money. Okay, well, what does it look like to get to that? First of all, it's a lofty goal. Shoot for the stars, but how do you get there? What's your vision? How do you want to present yourself? Do you have a specific brand that you're going for? Like, what does it look like to get to this point that you want to be at when you're right here?
Yeah.
Challenge them. Ask them, hey, man, what does it look like? Who are you? What's been going on in your life? Like, what have you went through? Because that's the thing that most artists don't talk about enough is, man, this is not a glamorous, easy thing to do at all. It will break you in half. It will take everything that you have and destroy you, but also at the same time give you more than you could ever hope for. Music has given me hope. It's given me a fire, and it's given me something to wake up every day and say, how can I be better? How can I make this happen no matter what? So yeah, it can destroy you and break you and take everything from you like it has, which it
Yeah.
probably has done that to every artist. But it all what else motivates you to get up in the morning after losing everything and say, nope, still gonna do it? Like, that's a
Yeah.
fire that music gives you, that it gave me. I've lost everything. Not everything, but I've lost a lot. And every day I still wake up saying, this is what I'm gonna do. I don't care. But at the same time, I'm gonna do it my way. I'm not doing what people tell me to do. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna listen to a label that tells me, if you want success and you want us to work with you, you need to do this, this, and this. Nope. I do it my way. How I want, when I want. If that
Yep.
doesn't work, it don't work. But I'm not posting all the time. I'm not posting these cringy things that make me uncomfortable because that's not who I am. So if you want me to be genuine, you want me to be honest, let me do it my way because everything that I post is something that I thought of, something that I wanted to do, not something that somebody was like, hey, go do this.
So you would never sign to a record label,
I didn't say that. What I
would you?
said was I would you see, okay, remember I just asked you about what the vision looks like? How do you
Yeah,
get to the next level? Yeah, I would sign a deal if it met X, Y, and Z criteria. I am not giving up what I want to do. Like, I want to write the music, I want to produce the music. You see this?
yeah,
Most artists aren't flying their own Pro Tool session. I do it all. I engineer it, I produce it, I write it. I want that. I don't want producers coming in telling
yeah,
me how to be because all of a sudden now I ain't Nick Hickman anymore. So if criteria were met, yeah, I would sign a deal if it looked good, but
yeah,
that needs to be criteria met, I guess is the easiest way to say it. I have
yeah,
a vision. I know what I will not compromise on. I know what I will not do. And I already know that they're going to be telling me I need to post 50 videos for a song. Nope, not doing it. Not doing it. Refuse. I'm not taking panoramic videos of where I'm at. I'm not taking selfies. I'm not doing any of that. It makes me uncomfortable. I shake just trying to do it, not doing it. So, you
yeah,
see what I'm saying? I have a vision, I have a hard stop point, and I will not go beyond that. So, if the deal meets me here, yeah, I'll sign it. If it's having me compromise on a bunch of stuff, nope, nope. I've built enough of foundation that I'm not in desperate need
yeah,
of. Oh my God, please sign me. I'm fine. I, I I'm making a good
yeah.
living. My family's okay. That's all that matters. So
And I can respect that, bro, because like a lot of independent artists aren't trying to do this to be famous. They're just trying to do it to just have because that's what they like doing is music. And if I was an artist, I would rather be independent anyways because I've read a lot about record labels. Basically, what I've read is that they can control you. They can control everything you do if you
well,
let them.
that's part of the contract. They own your likeness in all perpetuities and even in other galaxies. If you look at some of the terminology, I mean, it's just part of it.
Yeah,
But wording, reworking some of that wording to state, hey, I want full control over production. I want full control over engineering. I'll hand you the master. You do whatever you want with it. I don't care. But that master that's coming to you, I want to make sure that that is 100% me when I hand it to you. Then you do whatever
yeah,
you want with that. I don't care.
yeah.
I'll make your
Well,
music videos. I'll do your podcast. I'll do whatever I got to do that's comfortable for me. But I'm not doing
yeah.
this other stuff. Refuse. Won't do it.
I'm gonna play "I've Been Praying" as the outro song, and
Okay.
I just want to say thank you again, man, for coming up here. And maybe a few months, maybe a year or two, I can get you back up here, bro.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about the new record when it comes out. It's good. I'm proud of it, man.
Yeah. But you have a good rest of your day, man, and I will talk to you later.
You too, brother. Thank you, man.
Four, two, three, 369, 3013. That's the number I would dial if I wanted to hear from my granny. I call her up at every day just to hear her say, I've been praying. She'd ask me how I am and how Nashville's treating me. Then she'd tell me how she's waiting to see me on TV. I told the folks at church the other day, my boy's gonna make it, just you wait. I really believe in you like I do that old King James. Hey, there ain't a day these knees don't hit the floor, and I'm knocking on heaven's door, asking the Lord to take care of my baby, 'cause there was power in folded hands and God hears everything. Son, I've been praying. And she'd hear me fight through the tears to say, you know I love you, right? I'd say, yes ma'am, that's the one thing I know for sure in this life. I know it ain't easy, son, nothing in life is, but you gotta fight. And when you feel like giving up, remember this. There ain't a day these knees don't hit the floor, and I'm knocking on heaven's door, asking the Lord to take care of my baby, 'cause there is power in folded hands and God hears everything. Son, I've been praying. Now here we are and things have changed. We're sheing around to see just how far we've came. The dementia's coming, it's taking her from me. And there ain't a damn tear I could cry to bring back my granny. And it's the hardest thing to have to call her by her first name, 'cause she has no idea who I am or why I came. I just think about all she'll miss when I make it, my wife, her great-grandkids. She always said, I can't wait to see you walk down the aisle. Well, I did in May, and I would give anything to see that smile. But she wasn't there for obvious reasons, and it sucks, and I do feel cheated. But I'd always carry her with me, her, my papa, and my daddy. And I reminisce about them good old days when I could call her up at any time and hear her say, there ain't a day these knees don't hit the floor, and I'm knocking on heaven's door, asking the Lord to take care of my baby, 'cause there is power in folded hands and God hears everything. Son, I've been praying. I'm always praying.